You're listening to The OT with Kerry Brin, Brian Loveless, and Steve Heskey here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. Touchdown! 75-yard punt return. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The fadeaway.
Let me step back and kiss myself.
Oh my
MVP
gosh, it's
time.
Listen to The OT every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. Let the games begin.
2 seconds to go. Lavender, three-quarter court, as we're going to overtime.
And welcome back to the OT, another edition today on this beautiful Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock. Thank you for that update, Brian, by the way.
You're welcome.
Of course, we're always here on every Wednesday, 3 to 5 p.m. I'm Kerry Brin, your host, here with Brian Loveless, the update master, and our master running the ones and twos, Steve Heskey. How you doing, Steve?
Oh, fantastic, Kerry. Big show today.
Oh, yeah, we do. We got a great show today. We got so much to talk about. First off, we're going to start the show with an interview with a Olympian, Megan Bozek. She was on the U.S. women's hockey team. So we're going to talk to her in about 2 minutes. And then, we're going to recap the Sox game from last night, the Cubs game. We're going to preview the Cubs game, talk about the Sox game right now. We got our weekly What Were They Thinking and Team of the Week. And, it's just going to be a good show. I'm excited for today's show. So let's get it started. We're going to start out, with our show. And also, you could follow us on the OT_CSR. And you can always call us in if you want to talk to us at 312-564-7375. So let's get the show rolling, and let's start our interview off with Megan Bozek. Megan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good.
Fine,
It's good to hear from you again. I know I just saw you last week at that the event we had, and which went very well actually, and seems like you had a great time there too.
Yeah, it was great to see family and friends and people that I have actually never met before, but that followed along in a journey for the past few months, so it was great to see everyone.
Exactly. And first off, I'd like to thank you so much for taking time out of your day and coming on our show. So thank you very much, Megan.
Of course, anytime.
No problem. So let's get to it. So Megan, I want to ask you, what was that feeling like going into the airport and knowing that you're about to compete in your first ever Olympics?
I think you're feeling every emotion. Traveling with 20 other girls that share the same passion and dream that you have makes it a lot easier going through that big of a transition, going from the States to Russia, where you don't know what to expect, to when you got there. So at the airport, I was so excited, taking pictures of everything, just knowing that what I worked and what our whole team has worked so hard for was actually here.
All right.
All right, Megan, did you know where Sochi was before you knew you were going there?
No.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would really know where Sochi, Russia was,
The middle of nowhere.
I'll be honest with you, when I saw it at first, I'm like, what's Sochi? I'm like, oh my God, I feel so stupid right now when I found out.
Sochi?
Yeah, it's definitely not a common place, but what they did with it was incredible. Turning it in from pretty much a junkyard to a really nice resort town where, like, every other building has a pool and there's palm trees and it's right on the Black Sea. They have amusement parks. Wow. So the transformation was very, very impressive, and how they treated us over there was great.
Wow. Sounds like they did a lot of work in those, 4 years they knew about having the Olympics out there?
Yeah, I feel like they did much of the work, probably the last month of it, too.
Wow. Wow. So, tying in with that question, when did you first find out that you were going to be on the Olympics, and what was your initial reaction?
So we found out after a game in December, and we had to keep it quiet for probably a week and a half until it was publicly announced during the Winter Classic game on January 1st. So when we found out after the game, lots of smiles, lots of tears because 2 girls had to be let go. So it's never an easy thing knowing that what they trained so hard for has come to a stop. But then again, those 2 girls helped us get to where we were. So called my parents, my family right away, and told them that they couldn't really tell anyone. So that was really exciting being announced on the ice during the Winter Classic game versus Toronto and Detroit.
Wow, and I couldn't even imagine holding it in and not telling anybody, hey, I made the Olympics, like that's such a feat to even say,
I made the Olympics, but be quiet about it.
Yeah, exactly. So when you
it definitely was not easy.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't even imagine. So when you got to Sochi at first, what was your initial impression of Sochi, the town?
Beautiful. So we were actually, I don't know if we were actually in Sochi. I think most of it was in Adler, which is kind of ironic. I don't know why it was the Sochi games, but I really wasn't well acquainted with my surroundings of town. But on the airplane when we flew in to Sochi Airport, we could see the Olympic rings and all the venues, so that was really, really cool.
Nice.
And everything was great, brand new. Our rooms were huge. They took very good care of us there.
That's good. And just a little quick question here, kind of funny too. When you flew over and you saw the Olympic rings, were all the Olympic rings there, or was there one missing?
They were all there. Confidently, they were all there.
Yeah, that's funny. I still can't believe that happened. But so that first game, I know it was at like 3 a.m. It was at a crazy time. How were you feeling before? Were you nervous or just very excited to get on the ice and start getting at it?
Yeah, definitely nervous, but it was great to get my first few shifts out of the way, and it helped that we scored our first shift of the game. So playing Finland, 2 of my best friends are on Finland, and one of them just happens to be the goaltender. So
that's right.
Knew that it was going to be a really tough game, but seeing my parents in the stands and the atmosphere at the game was just incredible, and I think that's really when it hit me that it was actually the Olympic Games.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad you talked about your family. So how was it having your family there the whole time? Because I know pretty much your whole family made it out there. And how was it knowing that I'm an Olympic, I'm on the Olympics for the U.S. and my family's out there watching me? How good of a feeling was that?
Good, just knowing that they were in the stands. We didn't get to spend much time together outside of the rink, but they had a blast. They got to go to other events. Met so many fun and neat and exciting people. So they had a great time. I had a great time, and I'm glad that they were able to share the experience with me.
That's great. And remember, this is the OT on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. We're here with Megan Bozek, Olympic medalist, actually, from the U.S. women's hockey team. So, Megan, what's the difference playing a country like Finland or Sweden than playing your rival Canada?
There's just such a big, I wouldn't say dislike, but a healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
Versus Canada, just knowing that that in the past we have been the top 2 teams, but all the teams there are trained to win a gold medal. So all the blood, sweat, and tears that go into playing that Canada game never fall short. And just knowing that we played them 7 times during the year.
Wow.
We knew what they were going to bring and how they were looking. So it's always exciting playing Canada. It's kind of a dream come true.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched every game. I know my 2 co-hosts watched every game. I set it on record, because those games were at 3 a.m. sometimes.
Yeah.
But I actually remember watching one of your games, and you scored a goal. How was that feeling?
I did.
Yeah. How was that feeling scoring in the Olympics, knowing that I just scored? Like you can never take this away from me.
Good. It was in the semifinal game versus Sweden, and I'm not really much of a goal scorer, so
It must have been exciting.
it was exciting. It's something that it's a moment there that you won't ever forget, and it just adds on to the memories that I made there during the month I was there.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking to Megan Bozek here on the OT on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Couple last questions, Megan. How was the closing ceremonies for you, and just your the whole experience of being in the Olympics?
Closing ceremonies was beautiful, but those events are definitely made for TV. So the higher up you sat, I think the more that you could see, because what they're trying to portray when it's such a large venue. It was really hard because they were always facing north, and we were on the south end of the arena, and we were very close and low, so we couldn't really see much, but it was beautiful. I took a lot of pictures and got to rewatch it on TV, so just piecing things together that we saw. Russia did a fantastic job on opening and closing ceremonies, and overall, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm hoping to train for another 4 years to try out again for Pyeongchang in 2018, but my first Olympics was nothing short of amazing.
Okay, Megan, and I was just wondering, what was sort of your relationship with some of the other athletes at the Games? Did you get a chance to meet some of the other athletes from the United States, other countries?
Even in Chicago, too, yeah.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
Yeah. I actually met a lot of the athletes from Chicago. Asia Evans, Jason Brown, Kendall Coyne is one of my teammates, Brian Hansen and Emery Lehman, who are speed skaters. And we all lived in the same building. So there was two clusters of housing, and one was in the mountains for the mountain sports, and the other was the coastal cluster, and we all lived in the same building. So we would see them constantly, whether it was in the elevator, walking around in the medical room, and in the snack room, in the lounge. So
Just
yeah, I
hanging out.
got to know a few of them really well, which it's awesome to see what they're going through and how their experience was.
All right, and one last question before we let you go. We're talking to Megan Bozek here from the women's hockey team, silver medalist. Megan, can we expect you at the next Olympics?
Sorry, will you repeat that?
Yeah. Do you think that we're going to be seeing you again at the next Olympics?
I am hoping to try out again in 2018. Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope to see you there, and I'm pretty sure you're going to make it. I think you're top, if not the best defenseman in the world. You're definitely probably the best defenseman on the women's hockey team. So, thank you so much for coming on our show today. We appreciate it so much. We wish all the best of luck to you, and hopefully we see you in the next 4 years and taking home the gold medal.
Great. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
good one, Megan. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Megan.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.